Today's horoscope from Astrocademy, Aquarius February 18, 2025. The moon spends all day in your sign, and it's a time of new ideas, starting new trends, and making an impression. Your desire to be independent or do your own thing is strong. To some extent, you may be wearing your feelings on your sleeve. Still, watch for oversensitivity to what's being said around you later today. Remember that responding defensively doesn't resolve problems. If taking care of yourself means tuning out others to some degree, then don't hesitate to do so. Avoid a point of too much information. Also today, you begin a cycle that's strong for design and planning. You might thoroughly enjoy structuring your creative works or your play and leisure time. Your vision is unique and inspiring. Hobbies and creative pursuits can thrive with special attention, and your creations may stand now. This cycle lasts until January and supports learning, thinking, and sharing. You have more faith in your ideas. Interesting attractions can be in focus. Pallas, the mighty asteroid of wisdom, courage, and diplomacy, will shift into a new zodiac sign today. She ventures into a fellow sign. While the asteroids don't often create intense shifts that are quite as noticeable as the movements of the luminaries and planets, they do still grant us unique information about life. The asteroids are the embodiment of divine feminine goddesses and teach us about embracing that power within our lives. In Aquarius, Pallas will encourage you to understand life through your sense of equality, justice, and a humanitarian perspective. These traits will radiate through the cosmos and be noticeable to all. You or them. Choose yourself, as the moon in your sign squares Mars retrograde in Cancer and opposes Chiron in Aries. It is time for you to be selfish. You may have let one too many things slide in your work life. Coworkers could have taken advantage of you, clients might have overstepped their boundaries, supervisors could have undermined you. You deserve to be treated better. It might be initially challenging to stand up for yourself, but do not let this deter you. Put yourself first instead of making everyone else comfortable at your expense. Things may not go as planned today. Just when you are starting to get things going your way, something can happen to upset the whole picture. What you do in a situation like this says a lot about you. In order to have the patience and endurance you will need, be sure to get aerobic exercise. The oxygen in your bloodstream is converted directly into patience. And a bit of spicy food is good to get the toxins out of your blood too. You're not likely going to want to spend too much time around others on this day. It's a time that is filled with your own natural essence, and you are far more likely to be interested in spending time with your own thoughts. Even if this is a workday for you, you can always make plans to indulge in your favorite solo activities this evening. Be sure to consider the feelings of others if you do have to interact. The moon's return to Libra today is an ordinary monthly event and something that every 4 weeks brings a chance to check in and become more emotionally and intuitively engaged and aware. However, this will have wider implications. Just days after clashing as a full moon, this will put the sun and moon back in harmony, replacing any tension over recent days with a sense of balance and confidence. At the same time, this is going to power up the playful, creative and adventurous side of life's fence in time for the we. While Pluto, the planet of change and transformation, is in the early months of what will be a 20-year visit to your romantic sector, and this will ensure the spirit of romance doesn't go off the boil. In the sun's last weekend here, the spirit of romance has to be a priority. While the solar is still shining on matters of the heart and all things romantic, there is a need to pay attention. Our eyes in the sky. The moon in Libra forms a tense square with Mars retrograde in Cancer, stirring emotions that may feel like waves crashing against the shore, strong, unpredictable, and hard to control. This planetary alignment has the potential to bring moments of frustration, miscommunication, and impulsive reactions. Have you ever felt like you were holding something in for too long, only for it to come spilling out in a way you didn't intend? This transit can bring exactly that kind of emotional release, but not always in the most graceful way. Either you or someone around you might act out of character, responding with words or actions that stem from buried frustrations. If this happens, remember that while emotions can rise suddenly, they don't have to define the course of your relationships. On a social level, your presence is in high demand. People naturally gravitate toward you, seeking advice, reassurance, or simply the warmth of your company. Your ability to listen and respond with genuine care is something that others deeply appreciate. Have you ever had a moment where a friend told you that just talking to you made their day better? That kind of energy is flowing strongly now, making it an excellent time to strengthen connections. Whether it's old friendships growing deeper or new relationships forming, this is a period where meaningful bonds can flourish. You might even cross paths with someone who leaves a lasting impact, perhaps someone who changes your perspective, opens a door to new opportunities, or even, for some, the possibility of love. If past tensions still linger in any of your relationships, this is an opportunity to heal. Carrying the weight of unresolved issues can be exhausting, and sometimes, letting go of past grievances is the most freeing thing you can do. Have you ever held on to a misunderstanding for too long, only to later realize it wasn't worth the distance it created? If there's room for reconciliation, consider extending that olive branch. Every relationship has its ups and downs, but growth comes from learning how to move through challenges with understanding and grace. However, this energy can also make decision-making feel unpredictable. You may find yourself tempted to say yes to things that excite you in the moment, without fully thinking them through. Have you ever made an impulsive choice that seemed thrilling at first but later felt overwhelming? While embracing spontaneity can bring joy, it's also important to stay grounded. Be mindful of commitments, whether personal or professional, because not everyone can adjust to sudden changes as easily as you might. Instead of letting emotions dictate your choices, take a deep breath and ask yourself whether what you're saying yes to aligns with your bigger picture. If things don't go as expected, avoid falling into the trap of blame. It's easy to look for someone or something to hold responsible when things don't go smoothly, but blame only leads to more division. Have you ever had a situation that seemed like a setback at first, but later turned out to be exactly what you needed? Sometimes, challenges are just redirections in disguise. Instead of reacting with frustration, try shifting your perspective. What lessons can you take from the experience? How can you use this moment as a stepping stone rather than a stumbling block? Financially, this is a favorable time, as your instincts for making beneficial decisions are particularly strong. Whether negotiating a business deal, discussing a raise, or considering a financial investment, your ability to assess situations with clarity is heightened. Have you ever trusted your gut on a financial decision and later realized it was the best move you could have made? That kind of intuitive wisdom is guiding you now, helping you navigate financial matters with confidence. However, while opportunities are opening up, it's important to stay realistic. Avoid taking unnecessary risks or setting expectations too high. If you remain strategic and patient, you'll find that things fall into place naturally. If you have any lingering financial matters that need attention, now is the time to address them. There's a good chance they'll resolve in your favor. As the day unfolds, reflect on how you are choosing to navigate the energy around you. Are you allowing frustration to dictate your actions, or are you taking control of your responses? Are you opening yourself up to meaningful connections, or are you letting pride or past wounds create unnecessary barriers? Every experience, whether smooth or challenging, carries an opportunity for growth. The universe is not bringing chaos to disrupt your path, but rather, to help you realign with your truth. Embrace the lessons, stay open to new perspectives, and trust that balance is always within your reach. What you put out into the world will return to you, so move forward with mindfulness, kindness, and confidence in the unfolding journey ahead.